up and welcome to a Confident Club Cuppa.
Hello there.
Curly, we I'm going to say working our way through, but that'd be ridiculous because you scratch the surface of my fantastic new book, which is called How to Be a Complete and Utter Duck Up, right? Just remind me where we got to it last Cuppa.
Well, we were talking about values and about what a massive subject it is. So I just wanted to read a little thing out about it because I think there's a thing about defining them as well.
Yeah.
You'll find the solution to most of your problems will be a return to your true values. Still, if you haven't got a clue what your values are in the first place, you can be optimistic that your problems will remain and you will still be a duck up.
I think from memory there's a great quote from Stephen Covey about that as well in there, which we might come back to. I think we left off by talking about this notion of non-negotiable, and I was going to use Muhammad Ali as a role model for this, right? And this, by the way, disclaimer, I know a lot of people have strong opinions about boxing. This isn't about boxing at all, but it isn't about how to have a great sort of true north in your life and decide how you're going to behave. So from a personal point of view, if you don't know the Ali story, you know, there he is. He's changed his name. He appears to have changed his name overnight from Cassius Clay to Muhammad Ali.
He said that was a slave name, didn't he?
So slave name, and he said, I don't have to be who you want me to be. And then obviously had high profile, bit of a mouth on him back in the day. And I don't know, we've got a lot of
Gobby, we call him in Yorkshire.
Gobby. We've got a lot of American clients, haven't we, and friends and stuff. And I've asked our American friends, was it a conspiracy? Nobody can see, but I think it might have been a government conspiracy. We need to shut this guy up because he's become like a face of the civil rights movement. Vietnam War's on, let's conscript him and get him to go fight in Vietnam. And they said, you're going to go fight in Vietnam. And Ali famously said, but I don't have any quarrel with the Viet Cong. And they said, well, and I'm a Muslim, it's against my religion to go out and kill people I don't know, right? And they went, well, you don't understand. If you don't go and fight, we're going to strip you of the heavyweight championship of the world. We're going to fine you $10,000, which was a lot of money in the 1960s. Yeah. And you're going to go to prison for maybe 5 to 10 years. And he went, I'm still not doing it.
God.
And so they did strip him of the heavyweight championship of the world. They did fine him $10,000. They didn't go to prison because he appealed it, but he missed 3.5 years of the, you could say, the height of his boxing career. Yeah. But his thing was non-negotiable. So that's it from a personal point of view. You know, you can't lose your integrity, can you, and then get it back, right? You know. Yeah. But I think I see this with organisations, and I think particularly during challenging times, and we're living through some challenging times, is that even if they have values, if not careful, they forget and they stop using it as a compass, right? So I think you need to go non-negotiable. So arsed, have you heard of them?
Yes, our very first client when we started out,
and
20 years ago.
Well, a lot of people used to work at arsed as well, don't we? So a lot of everybody who used to work at arsed.
Ex-arsed.
And they were great at this. And I remember I went for maybe second meeting I had at the time with the chief exec and the head of people person, right? And a guy called David Smith, actually. Yeah. Hello, David Smith. Yeah. And he went, have you read this book? And I thought, I'm consultant. Shouldn't I be telling you which books to read, right? And I went, I haven't got time. He said, it's all right, I've done some book notes for it. It was great at that. I'd done like a summary. And it was a book. Yeah. It's ages old now, but I still think it's absolute classic when we talk about values. And if you've read it again. If you haven't, go read it, right? Good to great.
Yeah.
Right, and good to great, basically.
Jim Collins?
Jim Collins, right? Yeah. And Jim Collins basically, and it was like it was quite 2-3 years, I think, they did this study.
It's about that thick as well, isn't it?
Yeah, and the basic was asking, the research question was, what takes an organisation, but I would argue an individual as well, from just being good, so they're still okay, but they may be plateaued, to being great, right? Yeah. And then find 2 organisations in the same category, say 2 retailers, one's good, one's great, what's the difference? So if you can't be asked to read book, right? Well, the conclusion was this: the great organisation first and foremost focus on, Curly, who is on the bus, rather than worrying about where the sodding bus is going, right?
Yeah.
Now, I think it's true to say that most of them haven't a clue where we're going at the minute. That's fair enough. Who knows, right?
Who knows? What might happen?
But if you have the right people on bus, it kind of won't matter, especially if they're in right seats, right?
Yeah,
and all that's really saying is good to great. That's just another bit of research that says we need to have a team who have the shared values, right, and they're in the right seats. And, you know, occasionally you might need to stop the bus and go, do you know, you're great with your performance, but your behaviour is not how we do things around here. And we've noticed, even with a bit of coaching, you aren't changing. So you might want to get off the bus, because where we're about to go and how we're about to behave, you're not going to like.
So going back to what you were saying about the rugby team, so that's why it's crucial for the team to agree their own values in advance.
Again, I know the great HR people watching this know this. I mean, recruit around values. Why wouldn't you? You can teach skills and stuff, can't you? Yeah. But attitude comes out of values, doesn't it? You know, what's most, if I can align. Again, I mentioned my daughter Megan many times this, but if I can align, like Megan has, what's most important to me with a company that's what's most important to them, and they like overlap or the match, I am not going to have a problem getting out of bed in the morning, even if I still go to my spare bedroom to go on my computer. I'm not going to have a, she's doing right now, right? So, you know, non-negotiable is the message for today, I think.
I found the Stephen Covey quote.
Go on then, let's finish with that.
How different our lives are when we really know what is deeply important to us. And keeping that picture in mind, we manage ourselves each day to be and to do what really matters most. Oh,
Yeah.
it's
So go do what really matters most. I'll see you there.
Bye.